So throughout today, you have been seeing the tremendous potential of AI, specifically Gen AI, across various domains, various industries. But in this, we will zoom in a bit on the retail landscape, not just the Gen AI, but on the data and how we leverage the APIs, all those stuff. So I'm Sijohn Mathew. I'm a Google Cloud architect working with Devo Team Sweden. And talking about Devo Team, we are a premium partner with Google Cloud in EMEA. And I have been working with retail customers for more than 5 years and helping them to craft innovative solutions, me being coming from an application specialization background, and crafting their journey for onto the cloud and specifically Google Cloud. So I'm excited to share my knowledge and passion for technology in retail with you all today. So what's in store today? We will be exploring how to reimagine retail in the era of data and AI. First, we will dive into the hottest retail trends, which is shaping the industry, focusing on the journey of a modern shopper, Sarah. She will be our heroine for the first half of this session. And next, we will take a closer look at how retailers can step up or keep pace with these evolving expectations or the evolving shoppers. We will explore few use cases around how data-driven AI is transforming the retail landscape, empowering the businesses for these evolving shopper expectations. Then we will take a look at the power of technology. Basically, think of Google Cloud. We will see how these platforms can help you cater to those evolving shopper expectations. And finally, we will wrap up with some key takeaways and actionable insights or the strategies. So this is a study from Google Cloud, Gen AI benchmarking study published in July 2023. And as per this, 82% of the organization involved with Gen AI believe it will either significantly transform or completely transform the industries, their respective industries, not only retail. And that's right, actually, because vast majority see Gen AI as a huge potential, and we have been witnessing this for the last 1 or 1.5 years. This is another one because I just want to step into the story. So if you look at this market map, this is a study from McKinsey back in 2023. A whopping 75% of the value Gen AI can deliver falls across 4 key areas. And it really holds up, actually. And so for retail, if you look, the key areas are like marketing, sales, customer operations, and software engineering. They are being the top use cases. And for other industries also, it really holds up. And in some cases, we can see that there is a potential for the product and R&D, which is not in the retail much. So the first section, looking at the retail industry as a whole, we have been witnessing a pretty significant changes in the shopper behavior, basically. So let's take a look at the customer expectations and some of the retail trends shaping the industry. Customers are always seeking a hyper-personalized shopping experience, and they aim to eliminate as much as friction from their engagements and transactions. And additionally, they desire the most advanced digitally immersive capabilities. For example, even the latest Vision Pro. So you can see that whether they are shopping online or in store, they want the digitally immersive capabilities. And moreover, they naturally expect that their data and privacy is fully securely managed. And whether they are shopping online or in a physical environment, they anticipate a tight cohesion and integration between these capabilities and a seamless experience. So we know that the shopper expectations and the behaviors are changing, and technology is also evolving alongside with them. So let's see how technology can bridge the gap between these shoppers, what the shoppers want, and how they get it. By now, we all know that natural language is the new UI, and prompts are the way to interact with the technology. So these prompts act like the clear instructions, allowing us to talk to devices and systems using the very own natural language. And the days of navigating through these complex menus and clicking on some small buttons are giving way to something more natural and more human, actually. So this exciting shift paves the way for a more conversational future. So as we introduce Sarah, our passionate modern shopper, think about how she uses this technology, the natural language, the power of the new user interface to make her shopping more natural. This is what we call it as conversational commerce, where shopping becomes as simple as having a chat. And we have seen this in the keynotes also, like the symbol example, the demo they were showing. So imagine Sarah looking for outfits for a special event. If you look at the screen, she doesn't click through pages or she doesn't use the traditional keyword-based searches. Instead, she tells the portal exactly what she wants in her own words. Like for example, like find me a floral dress for the pre-wedding dinner and a formal black outfit for the beachside ceremony. And this is how the shopping becomes like a conversation. So with every choice Sarah makes, the shopping assistant and the AI-assisted shopping assistant learns, actually. And these tailor-made shopping assistants come out with the personalized recommendations and matching accessories for her, suiting her needs and the taste. So this is actually a win-win for the retailers as well, because as more things comes in as a recommendation, the basket size for them is increasing, actually. And then we take a step further. Let's say Sarah can virtually try on different outfits on a 3D avatar of her own, closely resembling her body shape. So it's a blend of technology and this personal touch where Sarah can see herself in her selections before making a decision. So nowadays, the personalization in shopping is not just about what we choose, it's also about how we choose. So there are some shoppers who doesn't want to always shop online. So that's where she is being busy shopping online. Now it's time to take things to the next level. Remember how we mentioned about the seamless shopping experience where the digital world meets the physical world. Let's see how she uses the technology to bridge the gap between online browsing and in-store shopping. So she arrives at the store with her phone and a special QR code generated for her from her online shopping. And this is her digital passport unlocking a physical shopping experience tailor-made for her. And the store what she is stepping in is all about using technology and creating a smooth and efficient experience. And now our shopper is stepping into the fitting room. So remember the personalized online shopping experience. And now the store uses her selection and a quick scan of her QR code is transforming this fitting room into a beach-like ambience, perfectly matching her upcoming wedding. Pretty cool, right? Like, this is kind of how we woo the customers. And everything Sarah picked online will be waiting for her in-store. And this seamless integration between the online and the offline world is the future of retail. And this approach benefits the store as well, because this store can operate more efficiently with lesser staff, all technology powered, and faster stock turnout. And this is a win-win for everyone. So with this, I'm wrapping up the Sarah story here, but this is just a beginning and a tip of the iceberg. This is one of a small use case. So till now, we have seen how the shopping behavior or the customer's shopping behavior is evolving from a customer's viewpoint. So now let's say from a retailer's perspective, how a retailers can keep up with the pace of this evolving shopper expectations. How blending data and AI can lead to a quicker and smarter product launches and more efficient workforce. So let's check out these few of these use cases basically. Recently, I got to work closely with the CIO of a retail customer. So one of the hottest topic always comes in when we do ideation stages and hackathons, because when it comes to the Gen AI hype, everyone wants to do something. So we do a lot of ideations and hackathon sessions. And one of the hottest topic comes forward is the product catalog management. Because the retailers struggle with creating high quality content especially across different channels. So, and managing these product descriptions and those kind of things. So if you take a look at this demo example of how we can amp up this existing product listing, its descriptions and the images. With this, now your team can actually instantly create visuals just by saying or describing in very simple text. So maybe this blue shirt will be the original product, and you want to highlight this blue shirt in different ways, like basically hanging on a wooden closet or a wooden hanger, sorry, and then neatly under a tailored blue coat. So these kind of things, we don't need to spend too much time in doing the photo shooting and things like that. So, and also another thing is that they don't need to technically adjust this sizes. Like for example, Gen AI can automatically adapt the visuals for various screen sizes and form factors by adjusting the ratios for desktop, mobile or tablet. Here is another use case which is really common these days, which is the translation services. It can actually automatically translate to multiple, 100+ languages, models like Gemini. And so it's very easy to incorporate these workflows into your product catalog management review process. Next use case, which is one which we saw in the McKinsey study, was like customer service automation, which offers a real-time support to the service representatives as well as to the customers. I'm not talking about the chatbot now. This is the virtual agents, which is supporting the customer service representatives in your contact center. So basically, your customer service representatives will be augmented with more knowledge, suggesting helpful answers, and then streamlining their resolution process. So virtual agents can typically take the load off your contact center. And another one is basically freeing up your team's time by using the Gen AI to analyze existing conversations. For example, your customer service representatives would have done long conversations. So these conversations could be like more new queries or new questions coming from the customers. And this continues, and thereby this Gen AI can continuously learn and then identify the new trends in the questions and feeding in a reinforced learning system. So based on this, AI models can update your FAQs and your site contents as well, so that it will always stay relevant, so that a manual process can be removed, basically. Then the usual case, the chatbots, which we are seeing an explosion of the chatbots for the last 1.5 years, like be it in your social media handles or your self-service checkouts or in-store assistants. Plus, what we can amp up those chatbots are like, chatbots can be even voice enabled with the multimodal capabilities of Gemini kind models. Like the voice enabled chatbots now can actually analyze the sentiment of the user who is speaking, not by just the words, by the tone as well. If based on the vocal tone of the person, like you can recognize whether he is angry or like in a very sympathetic mode or like very happy. So these are the use cases on the customer service automation level. And then last but not the least, another use case to boost up your employees is basically, or the workforce is democratizing the data. And one of the use case which was talked in the morning session was on the Looker Studio, sorry, not on the Looker Studio, in the Looker product they are implementing the same thing. But this is democratizing the data is basically, let's say your sales team or the marketing team, it will be like so easy for them if we give them a tool like ask me anything on that data. So this is, recently when I was working with this customer who works with a franchisee model of retail convenience chain, they asked me how we can make the regional and the zonal sales managers who regularly visit these franchisee stores, and when they talk to these franchisee owners or the managers, they want to have a talk to my data kind of model, so that they can bring up something like, okay, show me the worst performing products in this store for the last week or the last month. So it will be super convenient to democratize these kind of things instead of giving them a static charts or the static graphs. So now let's discuss on the technological transformation. Google Cloud as a platform. Think of Google Cloud as a backbone that empowers all these innovations we discussed. And to set the context right, we are not going to discuss on how to implement the concepts what we discussed till now, but how we assemble the right tools and the strategy in Google Cloud platform to build a strong foundation for a future-ready retail platform. So before we get into the discussion on how a smart data platform looks like or me showing a reference architecture, we will revisit the basics of this foundation. So first I need to highlight one of the things. Most of you are familiar with the concept of serverless architecture, but let's underscore its significance once more. So serverless is revolutionizing the way we approach technology in business by shifting the focus from managing infrastructure to driving innovations. So serverless on Google Cloud brings an always-on model to your application, ensuring that they are perpetually available to meet your demands, and with an invisible architecture, infrastructure basically, that can scale up and down as you need. And it ensures that you only pay for what you use or what your computing you use. Whether your team is working on a computing task or orchestrating data flows or developing AI-driven analytics, they have the freedom to create with an infrastructure that supports them invisibly and instantaneously. That instantaneously is really a key, because from the on-prem systems, when we move to the cloud, this is one of the key benefits what we get from the serverless. So we have talked about the amazing potential of AI, but here is the key thing. It all starts with data and with your own data. Just like a car needs a fuel to run, our AI models need high quality data. And that's where a solid data strategy comes in. So me being a solution architect, when I visit companies I talk to, they say that they are data driven, but they really lack the right tools and the strategies to transform it into like an actionable insights. And that's where we need to have the solid data foundation. And now when we apply these concepts and organize data within the framework of BigQuery, which is basically the serverless data warehouse from Google. And this is one of my favorite slides when I explain a data warehouse or a BigQuery to the business users, because it's very simple to understand. This is the unified data platform offering a comprehensive approach to managing your data lifecycle, represented by these 4 quadrants. So if you see the first quadrant, the collect, like the name suggests, it collects all the data from any sources, maybe from your, even from your website clicks, or from your product catalogs, or from anywhere. And then the next quadrant we talk is about the process and then get this collected data in a more structured way, which is basically the feed for your AI models also. And then we have the analyze, and then finally the activate quadrant. The activate quadrant will be your actionable insights. And one more thing is that if you look at this, it is represented with a circular flow actually. That indicates that your data lifecycle, it's actually a continuous cycle of data management, and it never stops. And that is the key to remain agile. And this is another representation of where BigQuery stands. Here we see the expanse of Google's data cloud, not just as a collection of services, but it's a complete and unified data and AI ecosystem that brings applications, predictions, analytics, and visualization under one roof. So with Google's data cloud, every user, from an application developer to data engineers, or from a data scientist to even a business user, find the right tools tailor-made for their unique workflows. So the good part here is that there is no need to juggle data across disparate systems. So thereby, we break the data silos. Everything is integrated. And this shift of treating data as a product brings a data-driven culture and accelerates the journey from data collection to a value realization. And also there is one more thing like I said about juggling the data. So let's say if you are managing data across different platforms, different cloud platforms even, with the cross-cloud analytics from BigQuery Omni-like products, means that you can even work with the data which is sitting in other cloud platforms like AWS or Azure, all in one place. So this is just a depiction of why we should go for a serverless data warehouse compared to a traditional one where you consume most of your time in monitoring, tuning, and provisioning the things. Here, with the serverless, you can focus on what is the most important. So as we move forward, we will dive into the crucial role of next topic, which is the API management in our data-driven AI strategy or the AI journey. We will see how tools like Apigee in Google Cloud helps in that process. So we used to think about APIs traditionally as just a way to get to the stuff. But they have matured from a simple gateway to building blocks of digital transformation. They are the reason everything can connect and work together seamlessly. So earlier there was a session on Apigee and there was a nice quote they were saying like about even when you consume something from your Gemini models, you are consuming through an API. So we will see how managing APIs with tools like Apigee can unlock even more innovation and growth in your organization. Think of your API strategy as the blueprint for connecting your data and AI models. So by designing APIs with the flexibility in mind, which we call it as the API first approach, you can actually power those smart recommendations for customers, what we saw earlier like Sarah, synchronize your inventory across stores and your e-commerce portal. So, but the problem is that by just having APIs isn't enough. A comprehensive API management is crucial, especially in the rapidly evolving tech landscape where APIs are sprawling. It's very important to have a governance, plus allow your developers to focus on what they do their best. Innovate with data and AI. They should not be bothered about how to manage the APIs, how to manage these endpoints, how to handle this sprawl, etc. So your API management tool should be your command center for keeping those APIs secure, then controlling the token usage, rate limiting it to the backend, and also to improve the response time, because nowadays the number of calls which is going to the backend can actually affect your token usage of your AI models as well. So if there is a provision, we should cache the response. So API management tools like Apigee can easily do this response caching. So we know that we are talking about a strong API strategy and a management is the need of the hour. So that's where tools like Apigee in the Google comes in. So Apigee is one-stop shop for managing your entire API ecosystem. And it comes in multiple flavors. Again, Apigee X, which is the fully managed version in Google Cloud, which is again serverless. Both your runtime and your control plane runs in Google Cloud. But there is a Apigee hybrid version as well, where your runtime can run in your on-prem if you have your data residency requirements, and the control plane will run in Google Cloud. But then with Apigee, you can tackle any API use case, no matter how complex it is. When it comes to the security part, Apigee handles automatic API abuse detections, etc. like that, powered by their ML models, which Google is using to use to protect their products like the YouTube or Gmail. So then other features like what you can leverage from an API management tool is like the API monetization, which is an alternate source of income. Then there is something cool feature called API Hub, which they are released. So, and also one more thing is regarding the API management tool is like when I go to customers, they say that, okay, we are managing already our APIs using an API gateway. So what more the Apigee API management system brings than an API gateway? It's actually, Apigee is much more than a gateway, because a gateway can just pass through the things and maybe can do certain things like rate limiting and stuff like that. But Apigee has got a lot of pre-built policies for example, spike arresting. If you are getting an abuse from your external, for your APIs, it can do spike arrest. Then, like I said earlier, like the caching, then the advanced security features. So your backend developer need not sweat about all these things to bake this into your backend. Everything will be handled by the proxy, by attaching these policies. And these all are configurable policies. You don't need to write any code for this. And here I want to highlight these two new features what they introduced, the API Hub. But API Hub, as the name suggests, it's a place to manage all those APIs in a single place within your organization, so that your developers can actually find out what all APIs are available for some particular requirement. So we can avoid creation of duplicates of the existing ones. Then another new cool feature what they have introduced now, which is still in preview, is the Apigee extensions, which is coming in part of the API Hub as well, Hub product. So Apigee extension, what it does is that it makes it possible to connect your APIs directly to this powerful conversational AI platforms like ChatGPT, and also which is the Gemini extensions, which is coming soon. Because Gemini extension is now available only for Gmail and workspace products. So this opens up a whole new world of possibilities for your customers to discover your products. Let's say you have an API to display your inventory, and then you can do online shopping. Then what you can do is that you must be familiar with this now, like the GPT stores. You can plug in this extension into the GPT store, and the extension you can generate it through the console without writing any code. And similarly, when the Vertex AA extension comes in, it will be added as part of the Gemini extension. So that's the feature with Apigee extensions. So now let's move on to the last piece in our product suite, which is the Vertex AA. We have heard a lot about Vertex AA in multiple sessions and in the keynote. So what is the beauty of Vertex AA? Getting started with Gen AA in Google Cloud is much, much easier than you think with the Vertex AA and Model Garden. So Vertex platform in Google Cloud existed much before this generative AI hype. So this was traditionally the platform for training and hosting all these AI and ML models. But now Vertex AA is a unified platform in Google Cloud for building, customizing, and scaling your Gen AI apps. And the goal of a platform like this is to make sure that you don't have to be having a strong team of AI and ML professionals to work on these technologies. And these are some of the other features what you can leverage from Vertex AA. One is basically you can test and generate code for your RAG pipelines, retrieval augmented generation pipelines. This is a way to ground your models by leveraging your own data with foundation models. So Model Garden. So Model Garden is a platform within Vertex AA that includes a broad array of large language models and a wide variety of more task-specific models. So what are you going to find in the Model Garden? As you see in this slide, you can find a variety of Google's first-party as well as third-party models, and also the open source ones. So in Model Garden, you can kick off a variety of workflows, including using a model directly as an API, like I mentioned earlier. Then you can tune the models, using the model directly in a Jupyter notebook using the Vertex AA Workbench product. Or you can take help to deploy your model training pipelines. The advantage with the Vertex AA platform and its tooling is that everybody can build and play around with AI apps. Even a business user can do this. If you take a look at this screen from the search and conversation feature within the Vertex AA, this is a live screenshot, direct screenshot from the Cloud Console. You can build a search engine by just using few clicks. No need to have any coding or anything. Just point to your data source. Maybe it's your FAQ document or something like that. Or if you want to build a Dialogflow based chatbot, Dialogflow is the chatbot engine from Google Cloud. So providing your organization data source, you can easily build using click and deploy kind of things in using this Vertex AI tooling. Then two other features there, the other thing I want to highlight here is the playbook agent, which is something which is new, released in preview. I got the opportunity to play around that. This is, again, it's an enhanced version of Dialogflow, if you have used Dialogflow earlier, to create these virtual agents using large language models. So the beauty of this product is that rather than using this, defining the Dialogflow's flow, the pages, transitions, then intents, etc., you don't need to do any of these things. You just provide a natural language instruction that your agent should work like this, then an agent will be created using the LLM. So that's the beauty, and then you can actually point it to your data source. Then of course you have this recommendation engine. You can build generic recommendation engine, media based, or there is one specific for the retail. I'm not going into the details of that. As the name suggests, it is easy for you to build a recommendation specialized for your e-commerce platform using this tool. So if you put all these pieces together, what we discussed till now, let's see how a smart data platform will look like in Google Cloud. Let's say I want to publish my data and AI models as products. That's the first bar on the top. Then I want to create a new AI model for my specific task. Then you will basically build a data exchange platform for me to receive and share the data using an exchange platform. And finally, your team wants to build a service mesh-oriented self-service data platform where data products are packaged as microservices and deployed within a discoverable mesh through well-defined APIs in a controlled and secure way. So if you see this, the products what we discussed, and when we assemble it to a smart data platform, how it looks. If you look at the publishing of your data, it can be served from an API management tool, layer like using Apigee, and then you can actually monetize your data using API monetization module within Apigee, which is an excellent source of alternate source of revenue actually. So let's say your suppliers in your retail landscape, they want to have a insight into the sales demographics of their products. Then this is an easy way for you can monetize using a self-service mechanism for your suppliers' data. Also, if you look at the data exchange platform and the self-service mesh, clubbing Apigee API management with this data products in Google Cloud, data products like BigQuery and Analytics Hub, and also the Dataplex, or your own set of microservices serving this data, you are building actually a value-added API chain here. This is a very simplified logical architecture of a customer experience modernization for your e-commerce portal. So if you look at this diagram, like the journey begins with the customer interacting with your online content on an external portal. This acts like the entry point for your capturing your website events, maybe the clicks and how many times your customer is visiting your each product. Is she not even adding to the cart, but going and clicking, and what is the probability of they buying it, those kind of things. These are crucial for personalization and analytics. Then comes the second part, which is we call it as the intelligent interaction module, which is now served by Apigee and Cloud Run. And Cloud Run is the Google Cloud's serverless computing offering. And as the customer engage, their queries trigger the APIs managed by Apigee, and then Apigee handles it securely, and then it is handed over to your backend running in Cloud Run, which is responsible for, let's say in this use case, responsible for real-time searching and rendering of the results. Then we move on to the third block, which is the personalized assistance powered by Vertex AI search and conversation. And Vertex AI plays a key role in providing the personalized search results and conversation experience, like we mentioned in the Vertex AI tooling. And also we can enable the use of this multimodal search which is like models like Gemini is capable of. So basically, it can allow your customers not to search along just with the text, but with even images you can search. And then the bottom portion, if you'll see, that is the data-driven insights using the Firebase Analytics and BigQuery. Every interaction on the website will be captured by Firebase Analytics. And that can be actually streamed into the BigQuery for later analytics. In the interest of time, I'm not going into the details of the bottom portion where the pub/sub and things like that are involved. So with that, we come to the final section, which is the key takeaways. So wrapping up, let's recap what we have discussed till now. Your data is your differentiator. So your data is not just your resource, it's the cornerstone for the competitive edge, or that is the cornerstone for boosting your Gen AI journey. Then building the trust with your customers by prioritizing data security and implementing fair and unbiased AI models is the need. And then third one is my favorite. Cloud platforms are the springboards for Gen AI innovations. With your on-prem servers and machines, with the pace of this technology being evolved and changed, it's unimaginable to manage with those things. So cloud platforms are the key enablers. Break down the data silos and empower your teams with the self-service tools like API management. So this will bring more collaboration and drive faster innovations. Let's end with a thought to remember. We all know that the future is AI powered, but don't be overwhelmed by the pace of the change. AI, specifically the Gen AI, is here to augment your capabilities, not to replace. Like simplifying the processes or empowering your teams, solving challenges and unlocking new possibilities. But your core value proposition remains essential. So LLM models keeps evolving, it keeps coming and going, but focus on a core foundation and a robust platform like Google Cloud.